So welcome everybody. Welcome to our Living Healthy, Inspired Healthy Living presentation that I'm putting on today. I am so very excited. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long, long time. And my girlfriend Dana and I, we've been sort of collaborating and doing a lot of this stuff together. And she was like, Wendy, let's do it. And I said, okay. I'm just like that. So anyways, I wanted to just, get right to it and be able to really give everybody the opportunity to see what this is all about. And when we talk about inspired living, we talk about all kinds of, just from my perspective as a holistic nutritionist, it's all about really taking a step back, looking and intuitively feeling and seeing what the body needs. And this is something that is so very much close to my heart as a holistic practitioner and somebody that has been in the nursing. I've been nursing for 30 years, and this has really been something that, taking it from a very healthcare or disease care, what I like to call it, kind of perspective, and putting it over into a preventative health kind of perspective, a healthcare perspective, is what I like to do. It's really about shifting that main focus. And really, from my perspective, I really try to focus in on a lot of gut health issues, and really a lot of the varying aspects that go and the degrees, different aspects of what happens when we have an imbalance in our gut. And because this is, when we talk about holistic nutrition, we talk about nutrition from a very root-based kind of situation, and health from a root-based situation. And like I said, having that background of nursing really has, brought that perspective of trying to figure out what the main cause is, as opposed to just giving a Band-Aid solution. And this is where I really have really wanted to and tried to emphasize that within my practice and in my life, and with everything around me. My main perspective, or my main registration, as an orthomolecular practitioner, which really is, it pertains to bringing in a perspective of maximizing health through optimal environment, through at the cellular level. So bringing in nutrients, whether it be through our food or through our supplementation and lifestyle changes, to really bring about that really optimal holistic health. That's kind of like in a little bit of a short version of what I do. But my girlfriend and partner Dana is on the call with me today too. So I'm just going to switch it over to her. And she can introduce herself and talk.
Well, hello everyone. Yes, I'm Dana, and I am Dana Irvine of Divine Wellness, and I am passionate about inspiring women to find whole food goodness. Try to put this all into words here, sorry. Whole food goodness and managing hormone health, identifying stressors, identifying inflammation, to really take a true preventative approach to things. I'm very passionate about kind of identifying these things in life, these stressors, all of this, and then applying the application of whole food, and kind of a fourfold thing. But with whole food, it is essential as the foundation. And if we want to transform our lives to be truly abundant and have intention and take care of ourselves and be the fullest that we can be, these are the stepping stones that we need to do. Like it's I don't want to say it's a no-brainer, but it's very frustrating sometimes. And today it's a little more frustrating than not, because we just have a few more close people who are young that have been diagnosed with cancer. And for me, it's we need to take care of our 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 nutrition. This is like so important to me, and we need to listen to our intuitiveness that our, what God gives us, that we should learn about our bodies. That's important to us. That's important to me, and I want to help people. And it's just so much that it's and when we're stuck here, we're all stuck inside, but or stuck out in the bush with no internet. But it's becoming more and more apparent to me that we need to be paying better attention to the foundational pillars of health so that we can be the best that we can be, right? Not only just for ourselves, but for our families, for our children, for our grandchildren, and for our communities. So I'm a little passionate today about things. So
Nothing wrong with passion. I mean, I think that's what got us to where we are doing the things that we do. So I'm going to jump right into the presentation. So like I said, we don't stay here all day. Okay, let's see here. So we are talking about inspired healthy living. And according to the World Health Organization, 9, and this is not one of the stats that we see on here, but 9 out of 10 Canadians will die from a chronic disease that is largely preventable through diet, exercise, and a smoke-free environment. Now, I know this is not really a best way to start a presentation like this because it kind of puts us all down in the dumps, but it is reality. And reality, unfortunately, isn't always pretty. And sometimes we need that little bit of kick in the butt to get us going and to understand that 1 in 4 people will die of heart disease. 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer. Now, these are old stats. These are 5-year-old stats from the States. They're going to shift a little bit as far as what we're looking at in Canada here. But again, you can really just take that as an understanding that 5 years ago, that's where the stats were. Things have gotten not any better in the last 5 years. 1 in 3 will have diabetes by 2050, and 1 in 5 children are obese. Now, our children are more harmed by poor diet than by exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined, which is it's the sad reality, unfortunately, of what is life. And this is, only part of the picture of why I do what I do. When we look at what is actually making us unhealthy, well, it's a lot of the toxins that we have been, blessed with through birth, that have been carried on through generational situations, through our parents and through our grandparents from the back in the days when they used these heavy, very toxic things. We also get toxins from the environment outside of us, and these are the ones that are called exogenous toxins, and they come from our polluted water, our city water, cigarette smoke, alcohol, prescription drugs, food additives, personal care products, household cleaners, X-rays, microwaves, EMFs, which is another one that Dana and I have been talking about quite a bit recently, and cell phones, computers, communication towers, even this 5G that's coming out in the next little while, or is here already, is going to have such crazy, crazy health scare and health risks for a lot of us. Fluorescent lighting and electrical appliances, these are all big, big things that are really giving us the toxins that we don't see, but we're taking them in on a regular basis. But then, of course, we've got the toxins that are on the inside of the body that are a result of poor lifestyle habits, nutrition, poor nutrition habits, suppressive medical treatments that people undergo on a regular basis, drugs and vaccines. Not going to get into that topic. A toxic environment, either within the workplace, within a relationship, and inherited genetic weaknesses. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that, but that is the whole loaded gun scenario, where we have been given this gun that's loaded, and whether we choose to pull that trigger is something that, again, comes down to choice. And these all interfere with our natural immunity, and it compromises our immunity, and predisposes our bodies to the invasion of disease-producing bacteria, fungus, viruses, and parasites, and/or parasites. I mean, it just puts us at risk for unhealthy situations, and it's an ongoing situation. Dana and I are both what we kind of call in the biz detoxification specialists. I know we both look at it from a different frame of view. She is very much inflammation and hormonal situations, whereas my basic focus is the gut. And again, it all comes down to that root cause, and it usually can either be related to gut or hormonal imbalances. And then, but what is doing that? That's the toxins. And, you know, we have to really work hard to balance our system out, to make sure that our body is continually being able to fight off these toxins. Because if our body doesn't fight off these toxins, then we get into that situation where we're looking at the disease process being able to thrive in our system. Anytime that I'm not saying anything right, Dana, just jump right in, my dear. But we also have to look at our food quality, which is decreasing exponentially. More than 50% of what Americans eat is processed. And this goes, you know, again, these are a little bit 4-year-old stats. I think, you know, the chaos that we live in, our go, go, go lifestyle, everything just almost gives us no chance to really do other than what, you know, taking in these processed foods, because we were 3 months ago, we were go, 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 go. Up in the morning, we just barely have time to breathe and live and enjoy the hugs of our children, let alone sit down and prepare 3 meals for them on a daily basis. Who sits down at a table with their family anymore? It's something that has gotten out of hand, but you know, it's just the result of the way society is at this point. And processed foods are there. They make it very simple for us to be able to just grab and go. But the thing is, these foods are filled with preservatives, flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, synthetic vitamins, growth hormones. They're more times than not genetically modified. They have a decreased amount of nutrition in them, pesticides, trans fats, artificial colorings. And I mean, the one stat that they have here, broccoli could lose 50 to 80% of the key nutrients before you actually purchase it, because when they pick fruits and vegetables off the vines, I mean, you may be taking in a lot of fruits and vegetables, which is amazing. But the thing is, when they pick it, it's underripe, and then it travels a great deal of distance before it gets to us, and it loses a good portion, 50 to 80% of the nutrients in it before it gets to us. And then, you know, and even before we get that point, the soil that it's actually grown in has depleted in the last 50 years exponentially as well. So we think that we're doing good by taking in broccoli, cauliflower, you know, all these different wonderful fruits and vegetables as much as we can, but we're still not getting the amount that we actually need on a regular basis. And we're going to get into how much we actually need. I mean, the thing is, we can do better. And Dana and I were actually talking about this morning in our show this morning, that we do what we can to be healthier, but do we really? We know we have to exercise no more. We know we should be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, managing our stress, drinking water, using safer products, eating real food. But how often do we actually do it? Clients alone that I have come on and say, you know, I know, Wendy, I know I need to drink more water. I know I should be moving more. I know I should be doing this, that, and the other thing. But the thing is, the way our lifestyles are, so many of us are not able to do that. And that's where the big debate comes into a lot of times, to understand that you know, we all know what we have to do, but it is so hard because life as we know it is hard. And even if we weren't able to eat as much as we need to eat the real foods, we're still not getting the benefits that we should be getting from all these fruits and vegetables. And I mean, you talk to anybody, and I mean, it's not new news that I'm telling you that, diseases are preventable with good nutrition. This is not new. Everybody kind of knows this situation. And it's just a matter of being able to do what we can to get to where we need to be, at the most maximized kind of health situation. So what happens in our body? Well, oxidative stress and antioxidants, I talk about this a lot because I'm a woman of a certain age and I'm just getting older, as we all are. But the thing is, what exactly is that process of aging? Well, it's called oxidative stress. It's those free radicals that are wreaking havoc in our system, and they're damaging our cellular cells,
Mm-hmm.
and causing us to age and disease a lot faster. So when a nutritionist or myself or Dana or somebody says, well, we need more antioxidants, well, what does that look like? Well, that's your fruits and your vegetables. That's your brightly colored, your purples and reds, yeah, all the berries that you can eat. But still, it cannot be enough. You can eat 2 or 3 bowls of blueberries a day, is still not going to be enough for you. Oxidative stress comes from those free radicals that are like wreaking havoc, and those are part of the toxins that we talked about in the beginning of the presentation. And they are, again, bombarding us on every level. I mean, even...
And some people manage antioxidant better.
Oh, yes.
Myself, my DNA is dispositioned to not be able to do these things. And these are the great unique things you can find out when you do DNA tests and look at them from a health perspective. But if I am already not being able to manage free radical damage and oxidation, then I have to double down.
Yes.
Right? It's so important.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, even if somebody that says, okay, they eat 3 bowls of blueberries a day and they work out and they drink lots of water and they do all the right things, understanding even regular cellular metabolism will cause oxidative stress, free radical damage. Even exercising causes free radical damage. You're going to get a lot of this through regular everyday stuff. But when we add all the extra toxins into our system, this is going to be so much worse. And when we don't get the right foods and we don't get enough sleep, we don't have that regenerative kind of atmosphere to be able to rejuvenate ourselves. All these things play havoc. Like, it's a big ball of and stress. That's one of the big things too. And it's so hard on the system to be able to keep up with all of this, especially in this day and age when we were talking about the fruits and vegetables not being able to be up to par. And that's why, the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you, but it's that they are so good for you that they could actually save your life. And this is from Time Magazine, 2003. Again, it's not new information that I'm giving you here. It's just sort of a reverberation of the same kind of thing. And when we look at the fact that we need 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, people kind of look at me and they go, oh, but how do I get that in? How do I be able to manage? I can't eat 6 cups of kale a day, and it gets a little bit overpowering when people are struggling at this point. On average, a Canadian will be taking in about 4 servings regularly. And when we have stats like this, just going back, that say that, it is good and it could save lives. If you have the regular proper servings of fruits and vegetables in a day, it could save lives. But on average, like I said, the average Canadian only takes about 4 servings in a day. And I mean, anywhere you look in the internet, you can Google it, you can talk to any doctor even, or whatever, heart and stroke cancer sites, they say their top recommendations, one of them are, taking in the recommended dose of fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. And I mean, if you can get one dose of fruits and vegetables into your kids in a day, you're probably doing better than a lot. Because I mean, kids alone are one of the more harder to feed people when it comes to fruits
Oh,
and
I
vegetables.
think young adults are right up there as well. I know my daughter doesn't eat fruit. My son doesn't like cooked vegetables. He'll only eat raw vegetables. And Jaden has been reacting to the broccoli cauliflower. So it's very interesting. Like
Oh,
it's and especially when you're talking food allergies, and
yes.
it's hard to get everything in that you need to get in. So
Yeah, it is so very hard. And then oftentimes, I mean, it's not only that, but it's adults as well. I mean, it depends on what kind of environment they were brought up in. I am personally, I'm a vegetarian now, and I remember specifically my parents, my mother, one of her favorite things was to always eat salads. She loved salads. It was like a dessert for her. But I never picked up on that in my life. And I remember specifically telling her as a child, I could never be a vegetarian. I just don't like vegetables. But I mean, it's a matter of choice again, and people change throughout the years, and a little bit of education comes along with it, but still not taking in as much as I should on a regular basis. And then, of course, we've got the whole controversy about, well, it's not so much controversy as opposed to conversation around multivitamins and whole foods. Well, 70% of Americans are trying to fill that gap between a multivitamin and, whole foods, and or fill the gap with a multivitamin. But again, multivitamins, unless you're really taking in really good quality supplements, health professional grade supplements, a lot of times you're taking in a lot of, things that are not that good for you. So a lot of preservatives, chemicals, synthetic crap, basically, that these medications or supplements or nutraceuticals are made of, because people have a tendency to go perhaps to Costco or Walmart or whatever and buy bulk of these things, and they're not always going to be the best for you. I mean, obviously, you're going to get what you pay for. And then with that in mind, the stuff that would be good for them is maybe perhaps out of their price range, and people just can't afford it, unfortunately. So with some vitamins and minerals, it doesn't really matter so much. I'm of the frame of mind with something along the lines of vitamin C, that vitamin C is one of those ones that if you can get any kind of vitamin C into your body, then the better. But for a lot of them, it's not conducive to going towards a nutrient that is cheap. But then again, there's the next level of that thinking and going towards, well, why would you have to need a multivitamin when you can just take in the foods, which is an amazing, philosophy as itself. But again, how much food can you actually take in? Just going back to that a little bit, it's easier to and more beneficial to the body. The body recognizes it more as a whole food than it does a vitamin synthetic concoction of vitamins put together in a multi-mineral. And simply because if you take the example of an apple, which has like 10,000 phytonutrients in it, all of those nutrients and everything else created by God or the farmer or whoever, everything that's in that apple works synergistically with the body, in the body. And when you separate the vitamin A, the vitamin B1, the B2, the vitamin C, the B6, all these, and put them separately and then put them back together, they don't work the same way in the body synergistically. You don't have the same amounts. You don't have the fiber and the pectin and the little bit of sugar and all these different things in it to make it so it's whole food in your body. And that's when we get to understanding that resources for healthy living, these are within our community here at Juice Plus. We really work to use the resources to bring about an understanding with regards to whole foods supplements. And when we look at Juice Plus as an entity itself, it is something that is very much a whole foods based. I'm going to talk about it a little bit further on, but it is part of what makes this so incredible. And if you just allow me to indulge a little bit, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. When I started going towards becoming a nutritionist after nursing for about 30 years, I just have been, I became very disillusioned with the healthcare system. Working in the nursing home system, I was very much saddened by the fact that 95% of people coming into the home had diseases that were preventable. And, this kind of really wore on me to the point where I wasn't able to stomach it anymore. And I had to leave and work from the other perspective of being preventative, situation. And that's what I basically do now, is work from a preventative side of healthcare, really trying to educate people and bring the best information and the best source of products and anything that they need to know, because I know there's a gajillion amount of information out there that really tends to confuse people a lot, and it confuses me, and to be honest with you. So my daughter, when she was 13, that's going back quite a few years now, she decided to overnight become vegan. And at the time she was an athlete. And as any, mother that is a little bit concerned about their child's welfare and, health, I panicked and I started diving into any and every book that I could find with regards to nutrition. And the more I learned, the more I made sure that she remained healthy and strong, and as an athlete, was giving and eating properly so she could grow properly. The more I learned, the more I just thought that this really just made so much perfect sense that it just grew on me. And I eventually became vegetarian myself. My son eventually became vegetarian, not because I was pushing him, but just I think out of simple osmosis in the house, I guess. He was listening and seeing, and kids, they start to mimic their parents after a while. Quite a few years ago, I put my children and myself on this product, Juice Plus, and it actually assisted with, I think, my son's shift with regards to his eating habits. And he, like I said, he decided to go vegetarian when it wasn't really the cool thing in his group to do. So it was kind of a really bit of an eye-opener for me. And it was just something that just made so much perfect sense for me that, as far as the prevention of health and when I was working at the nursing home, like I said, my heart was breaking every time I would have a new client or a new resident come into the system and see them suffering and see the pain that they were going through, and then offering them handfuls and handfuls of medications. And it just killed me on a regular basis. And because I knew after a while, it's just I felt like going to work and saying, look, I've got these books. This is the answer. You don't have to have your leg amputated because of diabetes. You don't have to have this happen to you. Let's do something about it. And I would talk to the cooks in the kitchen. I'd say, is there nothing that we can do to give these people more fruits and vegetables? or drink more water. What can we do? I was always trying to fight and try to do something to bring about a bit of change, the least that I could do within the system itself. But unfortunately, it wasn't at that point. They weren't listening to me. I was just one little voice. And it just came to a point where I was just like, well, no, I have to have a bigger voice from the other end of things and really talk to people at an earlier stage, before the disease got hold of them, before the disease and the process of the damage to their bodies happened. And this is basically why I got into this kind of situation, because it just killed me. It killed me to see the struggling that people had gone through and continue to go through needlessly. And I don't say that loosely because it can be needlessly. Again, it comes down to that genetic makeup of where, we have that loaded gun. I have it. I have a predisposition for heart disease, for cancer. It runs through my family. It's a matter of how you live your life, how you live on a day-to-day basis, and what you put in your body on a day-to-day basis. And this is kind of where I sit, and I try to instill that into a lot of my clients. Dana, did you want to tell your story a little bit, or?
Yeah, for sure. I think, for me, coming from a hospitality background, you see the gluttony, you see the overuse of things, and you see all of that. And that certainly, is fun. But in the long term of things, it does not. It certainly means heart disease, diabetes, you know, arthritis or Crohn's or colitis. Is just that or lose your gallbladder, or there's so many different things that happen with that abundance of fast food. And then moving to Sudbury, I started at a naturopathic clinic, and I was just the nice girl answering that's what I was doing. The nice girl, that's what he hired me for. I'm the nice girl who answered the phones and would get people coffee and would remember their names and chit chat. What's what I do. And through that, I realized a lot of people have no clue what to eat, and then the abundance or the overabundance of supplementation is crazy as well. And there's so much to say when you're starting things or you're trying to create that foundation. No one knows what to eat, so that's kind of where that led me. And then my sister was diagnosed with brain cancer. So that led me down a whole nother loop of understanding toxins, detoxification, DNA, prevention at the utmost things, and getting people to recognize the signs and symptoms of the body to do that. And I believe that whole food is, when I say whole food, if you can't get the best of the best of the best, then that's where the supplementation comes in. But sometimes it's like over supplementation of things that drive the purpose away from what you're supposed to be doing. Eating real food, getting it the best you can, picking it the freshest you can, local sourcing, and eating to what your body is calling you to do, right? Because there's no perfect diet for anybody. You can't be the same. Everyone's very specific and different from the next. And we have to be able to adapt as a mom or as a wife or as a caretaker.
Well, Dana, are you still there? Okay, I'm just going to continue on. And this is why Dana and I are so very excited. I mean, like I said, I got into this product quite a few years ago. Circumstances, what they were, I kind of let it go for a while, but I only just finished my product within the last couple of months, and my body is kind of like going, doesn't know what to do. But Juice Plus adds the nutrition of over 30 fruits and vegetables and berries into your diet. So getting back to those servings, the 7 to 13 servings that we need during the day. And it is just it, I, I'm going to try to explain it to you, but unless you've really gotten into it and really can understand it a little bit more, it is just an amazing product. Whole Foods, it's a powdered whole food product that's harvested at the peak of ripeness, so the nutrition is so very intact. It's not been picked early and allowed to ripen, or manufactured when it's like underripe. This product, the fruits and vegetables are picked at the peak of freshness, of ripeness, so you've got the most nutrient denseness of in it. It's pulverized whole fruits, everything in it. It's not juiced, it's pulverized, and then it's dried into powders at low temperatures to preserve the nutrition in it. The plant powders are put into capsules, which are vegan as well, and or delicious chewables. And I say delicious not only because it says it there, but because they're really good. Like they're I don't want to say they're like candy, because I know they're not candy, but the thing is they are so good. And you don't want to put a bowl of them in front of you, basically, because you want to have them as a nutritional supplement in your cupboard. But they are really quite good. And then of course, within the last year, they've incorporated what is the Omega Blend, which is a protein based omega rich supplement, full spectrum omega fatty acids, sorry. And it comes from algae, berries, seeds, and not fish. So it's all plant-based at that point as well. And you know, when I talk about one simple change that people can do in their lives, this is basically what it is. And we're looking at, this is the base foundation of the Juice Plus products, and they have the 3 plus the Omega now. And the red product is made of pretty much all red fruits and vegetables, from your cherries to apples, beets, peaches, pineapples, lemon peel, cranberries, dates, oranges, mangoes, and prunes. In the green product, we've got beets again, broccoli, rice bran, cabbage, lemon peel again, parsley, carrots, garlic, kale, spinach, and tomatoes. And in the purple blend, the berries blend, we've got artichoke, bilberry, blackberry, blackcurrant, cranberry, elderberry, blueberries, which we talked about earlier, cacao, Concord grapes, pomegranate, and raspberries. And this is just, you know, an amazing, amazing product. And understanding that these are all picked ripe, and like I said, and pulverized, and then made into powders. The plant-based omegas, omega fatty acids, support the broad array of health benefits, especially for the heart, brain, joints, skin, and eyes. And then again, being 100% plant-based, coming from pomegranate seed oil, sea buckthorn berry oil, raspberry seed oil, safflower seed oil, tomato seed oil, all pure and sustainable, full spectrum omegas, cold pressed, and vegan capsules as well. So an amazing, amazing lineup of products within that one product itself. Another part of Juice Plus products includes the Juice Plus Complete Shakes, and I cannot say enough good things about these shakes, simply because I've tried so many different vegan shakes over the years, and there's always something lacking. I mean, I've kind of, you know, settled on one or the other over the years because of either price or preference, but these are my most favorite. Again, they're vegan, made with non-GMO ingredients. They're gluten and dairy free. There's 13 grams of protein per scoop, 8 grams of fiber, which is so incredibly important for women's health. They are low glycemic, so you're not getting those spikes from increased sugars or anything along that lines. Broccoli sprouts, radish sprouts, alfalfa sprouts. If you've been following Dana and I, our program in the last week or so, we've been talking a lot about sprouts and how essential and how important they are for the enzymes and different constituents in the body. chickpea powder, millet, quinoa, amaranth, pea protein, rice protein, water wash soy, and mushrooms. Now, there's always a bit of a controversy out there with regards to soy products, and a lot of women kind of want to stay away from them, but this is a different type of soy, and it says the safety of the soy depends on the source. So the soy that they put in this product is a whole soybean, minimally processed, as found in Juice Plus Complete, provides the best and most balanced defense against disease. So it's a very specific type of soy that they've got in there, which is still an amazing product. And it really does help bridge the gap. It bridges the gap between what we're eating and what we should be eating. And again, it comes back to another discussion where we had of we know better. We know we should be drinking more water. We know we should be eating better. We know we should be exercising better. But do we? Not really, you know? And that's where something like this product comes in and makes that bridge between the two. So Juice Plus is unique. It's a food. It's not a multivitamin. It is a whole foods product. It comes like with its own food label. It is made with non-GMO ingredients. It's vegan, it's kosher, it's dairy and gluten-free. It's an NSF certified third-party product, which means that that it's really
certified elsewhere.
Yeah,
so it's not. Yeah.
And what's on the label is exactly what's in it. So you're not going to find any other things that are hidden in it by any means, because I mean, food labels are very kind of wishy-washy, and they have guidelines, and a lot of people a lot of companies and different brands, they try to skirt under the covers a little bit because they're within range, or they're not within range or whatever, but you still end up having things in there that you don't want, and this product doesn't have that. NSF for sports certified capsules for professional athletes as well as is available. So and you know, if you Google Juice Plus, you'll notice that it is the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world, with over 35 peer-reviewed published clinical studies from all over the world. This is a global gold standard research at leading hospitals and universities. And the gold standard method basically states that it's randomized, double-blind tested, placebo-controlled, tested on the product itself, human clinical trials, published in peer-reviewed journals, and is extremely ethical. And if you'll notice on this list, we've got the University of Toronto, where they do meta studies there. So, I mean, you can actually go to the University of Toronto website and look it up, and they've actually got their studies published there. Research results that have attracted thousands of doctors, and they state that it contributes to cardiovascular wellness. It supports a healthy inflammatory response, supports quality of life, supports healthy cholesterol, LDL, and triglyceride metabolism, supports a healthy lung function, supports healthy skin and gums, immune system, and helps maintain healthy DNA. And that's where that antioxidants really come in handy, because the free radicals, they just really wreak havoc on all of our cellular constituents. Reduces oxidative stress and absorbs very well in the body. And when we say absorbs in the body, it's just because a lot of stuff we take into the body doesn't get absorbed, it just gets flushed right out of the system as well. So this really has high absorbability. And Dr. Richard Dubois says there's nothing else available any place in the world or with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has been proven to do, which is it's pretty reputable. One of the really things that really attracted me in the beginning, even before the product, and how my whole system was affected by it on a very, very beneficial level, was the fact that they have those healthy starts for families, which essentially means that any adult can, purchase the main three, I believe it is, the red, the green, and the purple. And they can sponsor a child to have the Juice Plus gummies for up to 4 years. So a child of 4 years and older up till 18, and then I believe if they are in full-time college, can get Juice Plus for free for these kids. And this is an amazing, amazing product. So if you have two adults in your family and two children, you could basically have you and your spouse have this product, and then get your children having the gummies for free. And it's an amazing way. I mean, grandparents can do it for their grandchildren. I don't know. It just, to be able to offer this to children 4 years and up is just an amazing opportunity. And then to have it for free. I mean, there's so many stats here. 60% were missing fewer days of school. These are the children that are on this program. 56% were taking fewer over-the-counter or prescription drugs. 71% were drinking more water. Just going back to the 56% were taking over-the-counter and prescription drugs. As a kid, I don't remember having a lot of over-the-counter or prescription drugs in my life. I had allergy medicine maybe at the most. I can't remember that much, but I didn't know a lot of kids that were on medicine that much. But that was the 70s. Nowadays, you see kids are on so many medications. For asthma, for allergies, for sleep disorders, for anxiety disorders, for, I don't know, you want to just name a whole handful of them. Kids are on so many drugs these days. And a stat like that, 56% of them are taking fewer. It just, that says a lot right there. 71% were drinking more water. Any chance that you can drink more water is going to be better. So 66% of them were visiting a doctor less, which goes hand in hand with those prescription drugs and over-the-counter drugs. 71% were consuming less fast food and soft drinks, and 61% were eating more fruits and vegetables. And that too alone, I know for a fact that when I had my kids on it for a while, they did eat more vegetables and fruits. I think it really comes down to that cellular level where your cells actually recognize this product as a fruit or vegetable, and then it craves it more because they know how good it feels. And it's hard to think of a cell having its own mind to think and want and desire, but it does. And when you have a community of cells, a body, your body actually craves it, and you actually do end up taking in more fruits and vegetables. And when you offer them to your children as an option, they'll take it more easier than they would if their body hasn't really known how to take it in already. And then there's this amazing garden tower. I don't know, Dana, do you want to talk about the garden tower a little bit?
Sure. Well, and we have 2 talks coming up, don't we,
Yes.
Wendy? Coming up talking about the tower. So there's one tonight or tomorrow night, 7 o'clock.
Tonight at 7, and then
tonight at 7, and then Wednesday at 2 o'clock, which really dig in deeper about it. But just to talk about the garden towers, we've got the home unit, which stays inside, and it has the light availability to it, lower amount of water needed, on wheels. So it makes it really handy for a confined, even for smaller spaces that you may have in your house or living room or kitchen or dining room. And it's just so amazing to have the opportunity to grow fresh greens. Like, I don't know about you, you go purchase the greens, and either they go instantly wilted or dissolving, which is strange, or you never get around to using them, and it just becomes a waste. So when you're growing it, it's fresh, you walk by, you eat it, you don't have to worry about washing it. There's no pesticides or herbicides. Thank you so much, Wendy, for adding that. It's in our chat notes. So, and then you put herbs in the top. So nothing like fresh basil, fresh cilantro, fresh rose, like, not sure about the rosemary, it's a more woodier plant, but then you go down and it grows. You can do the spinach, all of the non-flowering plants you can grow inside, unless you know how to properly inoculate the plants with a feather, I suppose, but that's a lot of work. So when you do the outdoor one, the flex one holds more water, so that in those hot summer days, it actually, you don't have to fill it up as much. And then you are able to add your tomatoes, your cucumbers, the other different vining plants. And you see that the Swiss chard, if you like Swiss chard, lots of lettuces, maybe romaines. So there's many things. And the kits come with a good sampling of seeds to start, the carrier that you plant the seedlets in, all of that is there, and they're not overly expensive. The lights are on back order. The home unit runs for around 800. The lights are an additional 300, but they are on back order right now because these are so popular across Canada and the States right now, that because we are inside, we are isolated, and people are tired of having all of these foods come back with E. coli. Like, how many things from Costco come back with E. coli, or from Sobeys, or from Food Basics, or the Loblaws? So many different things. It can be even frozen fruit, which blows my mind. The frozen fruits and vegetables that have Salmonella and E. coli. So it's very interesting to take charge of your health just that much more. And if you're like me, you have limited space on porches, or you don't have a garden, um, and you want to be able to provide the best amount of food for yourself and for your family or your kids or your neighbors. And it's always so great to have these greens, the more the merrier.
Most
Right.
definitely.
So, and it's, you just want to be able to not worry about watering, and see these things grow live in action. So there are school programs that are available as well. So if you're part of a school system, there are different fundings or different grants available as well, I believe. Then also, these are available at a per month payment. Thank you so much. And for the year, and there's no interest. So thank you so much for Angela for adding that. So you don't have to pay that up at the full, or you can pay the per month. So it's reasonable. Like I spend close to that much money a month on vegetables.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then you have to wash them and save them and hope they don't go bad. So
Yeah.
I believe that it truly is a remarkable product. And it was funny, my husband saw it on, he's, did you order that? I'm like, no, I really, really want to. I really want to. And he's like, well, if it was that good, then Costco would have it. And I'm like, no, I don't think that the makers of this product want to offer it to Costco, because that's not the base. They want it to be personable. They want people to be passionate about it. They want the ability for people to support local families, support local schools, and have that greater control of where the Tower Gardens get to, and the real mission statement behind the system itself and the people who have designed it. And that's what I have really appreciated learning about Juice Plus and learning about the Garden Tower, is that the mission statement behind, or the purpose behind everyone doing these, are from a morals basis. Do you know what I mean? Like and people are so passionate about health. I love that the kids are for free, and that is, if you don't have kids, then pick another kid in the neighborhood, or pick someone from the school
Yeah.
that needs that support, or grandchildren, or your nieces and nephews. So it's something that you can certainly utilize. It's something that you can be passionate about, and I'm really looking forward to really stepping in and getting back to my core foundation of nutrients, which I'm missing, and getting back to all of that whole goodness when I get home here, because I'm all out of greens at the cottage. So
Yeah, and it's something too, because I know I spend a lot on my own supplements, but from a juice plus perspective, I'm going to be whittling down what I have, finishing what I have, and then just going straight into the juice plus. And I
yeah.
mean, when you look at the price comparatively, the price of a coffee, per day, $3 per day to have these supplements is nothing really, because I know personally I gotta, cut down my coffee intake as it is too.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Yes. So,
um,
and the nice thing is that one thing I really love about this is that, as you're taking it, you actually are craving more vegetables.
mhm.
Right, and that's the great thing behind it, is to become and have more that craving. Instead of a salt craving or a chocolate craving, you're actually fulfilling that craving that's need there. So we invite you to join us. You can become just a customer. We can talk about that. You can call Wendy or myself. You can become a partner and share it with 3 or 4 other people. And then if you really want a bit of a side, a little side income, build up that Christmas money, then, it's what would you do with that extra residual money per month? And it's all about whole food, the simplicity of it. And it's not like you're dealing with 1,000 other different products. And it's just that. And that's what I really appreciated as well, being involved with doTERRA or being involved with Epicure. You always needed to have so much and spend so much, and to keep that your residual income basis. And this is so simple, 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 simple. I can't even tell you how exciting it is. So I really look forward to anybody who wants to talk about it. Give us, Wendy, message us, private message Wendy or myself, and we are just so thankful. And I know Wendy she is a rock star when it comes to gifts and putting things together. And yeah, we've had so much fun, honestly, this last month. So but she does have a special gift for everyone who has attended, and she has a 20-page cookbook about springing into health. And so thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And Wendy, you've done such a marvelous, incredible job. And I know that's not your cup of tea and talking and stuff like that, but we're really, thank you so much, Cheryl, for attending. And if you have questions, honestly, give us a call. And we just love talking about this. I love talking about health and prevention and thermography, but yeah, it's just so passionate and so wonderful to have a product that supports what we talk about, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it's not something that we really have to push either. It's something that we both have such a deep, deep passion for. We know how good it is. We know how well it happens. And because I know Dana and I are very much, again, we're coming from a very moral based kind of situation. I would not ask somebody to take something that I wouldn't. And I would not ask somebody to take something that I didn't believe in at all. So, it's just something, like I said, I if my grandkids would take it, I would give it to them. I'd give it to my family. I give it to everybody that would actually take it. It's that good of a product. So, like I said, if you have any questions or you want to reach out, please, we are here for all kinds of answers to all kinds of questions. And if we don't know the questions, that beautiful lady Angela is right there, and I'm going to access her. So thank you again. I'm going to cut it off there, and have a wonderful day, everybody. Take
Wonderful.
care.
Thank you so much, Carol. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you. Great
Thanks,
day.
Angela. Thank you.